I'm Monkey Gibble. I've been wanting to record my rants, at least or takes. Might start uploading them. I'm not sure yet though. I know I'm like 2 days late to this Luka AD trade that everyone and their great great grandfathers are talking about. But more stuff has broke and it gets nothing but crazier. Probably not to refresh the memory, but I will anyway. In the trade, the Lakers got Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. The Mavericks got Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the Lakers 2029 first. They needed a third facilitator team, which was the Jazz, who jumped in and for free got Jalen Hood Schifino and two second-round picks. The trade was so crazy that not only did everyone legitimately think Shams got hacked, Shams said himself that he thought his phone got hacked when he got the texts with the details of the trade. We have never seen anything like this in the history of sports. Now, obviously, from the Maverick side, this is just baffling. They trade away their superstar that's not even in his prime yet, just turned 25, just took it to the finals, and has been an All NBA player every year since his rookie year for a center that turns 32 in a month and one first round pick. I don't know how you don't drain the Lakers of every asset they have if you're trading away Luka Doncic. In fact, it just came out today that the trade initially involved Dalton Connect and multiple firsts. But the Lakers GM was able to convince the Mavs GM that taking Luka was a big risk. That trading a 32-year-old center for a 25-year-old superstar was a big risk. I feel like I don't have to say that it wasn't, and that the Mavs GM just looks completely clueless. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know how you get talked down in a trading away Luka Doncic. He just looks completely clueless with everything that he's doing. He made it look worse in the press conference. He pretty much said he doesn't care about the future in 10 years because he probably won't be in the team then, and that he only cares about his future. Which you can think that, but why are you saying that? You have a whole city. It's baffling to me. It's baffling to me. Not only does he not get multiple first round picks from the Lakers could trade their 2029 and their 2031 first round picks. And you want the best one. You want the 2031 first. But he gets the 2029 first. You want the 2031 first because it has a higher chance of a good pick because it's further away. You could have started the craziest bidding war in not just NBA history, in sports history by leaking this to every single team. But it came out that the Mavericks GM pretty much only spoke to the Lakers GM, Rob Pelinka, about it. The head coach didn't even know about it. Nobody else knew about it. You don't do this when you trade a player. Trades on the smallest level get out. You leak it. You create leverage. There's a reason rumors get out the way they do. They don't just accidentally get out. When rumors get out, it's usually because somebody involved wants them to get out. You create the craziest bidding war in NBA history. Imagine what the Rockets would have given with all their prospects and first round picks, or the Magic, or even the Thunder. The Thunder could have put something crazy together. Right after, like a day later, an anonymous NBA executive was asked if he knew Luka was available and how much he would have offered in a potential trade. He didn't know he was available, number one. And number two, he said he would give one word everything. He just said everything. You could have had everything, and he chose Anthony Davis in the first. Now, NBA executives around the league are saying that they are fuming that they weren't able to join the bid for Luka Doncic, and that only the Lakers were in. Like, the rich get richer. Danny Ainge, the GM of the Utah Jazz, who helped facilitate the trade, said they didn't know they knew there was a trade, but they didn't know they were helping the Lakers land Luka Doncic until it was too late to do anything about it. And I know some people are talking about Davis like he's a bum, which he's not, and nobody should be thinking that. But he's not Luka Doncic. He is not a guy you trade to get Luka Doncic, or you trade Luka Doncic for, especially when so many other better offers could be on the table. I kind of get it. They wanted a win now guy or whatever, and if they leak this out, they're probably just going to get a bunch of picks and prospects. They're probably not getting a win now guy. Probably just, amazing young prospects and 25 first round picks. Still insane to me that the only teams that knew about it were the Lakers and the Mavs, that there was no leaking to any other team. No other team was in on this at all. And I guess the reasoning for trading Doncic was they called it a culture thing. They think Doncic is like the next Zion, that is going to be injury prone, that is completely out of shape, and that the reason he has gotten injured recently is because of his horrible conditioning. So in Nico's mind, the Mavs GM, he doesn't want to be just like the Pelicans, just waiting around for a chance for him to get better or him to get healthy. So he just jumped the gun and traded him early. I mean, in his rookie year, he was 230 pounds, reportedly. Now he reportedly weighs 270. That's 40 pounds gained in a few years. That is not muscle. Still, though, Luka Doncic was on pace to becoming the greatest Dallas Maverick ever. Even if this trade made the Mavericks better, let's just assume it did, which it didn't. Let's just assume it did. You still don't do this trade. I guess it made their team more balanced and maybe a consolidation trade is in play or whatever. But you still don't do this trade. Luka Doncic was in pace for being the greatest Maverick of all time. If he wins a championship, he easily has that role. Right? There was a Luka Doncic day on July 6th, according to the Dallas commissioner or something. What are they going to do on that day now? I mean, there were riots in the street when Luka got traded. There was a protest outside the Mavericks arena all day. Luka Doncic is the Dallas Mavericks. You just lost all your marketability. I was scrolling through Mavs Reddit the morning it happened, the morning after it happened. 7 out of the 8 first posts I saw were people canceling their Mavs TV subscription, genuinely watching basketball because of this trade. Huge overseas fans because of Luka Doncic. Just so much marketability. I don't know how you do this, which, by the way, doesn't even make sense from an X's and O's standpoint, and as well completely alienates your fan base. If he's not fired by the offseason, just from the pressure from the public, not even just from the office like wanting to fire him, I would be astonished. The Mavs GM said he left Luka Doncic texts and voicemails, but the Luka didn't reply. And so Nico was quoted saying, and I quote, "My guess is he probably doesn't want to talk to me." Duh! Of course he doesn't want to talk to you. You just screwed him out of $116 million. He can no longer sign a Supermax extension because of the hasn't made an All NBA team with the Lakers. He can't do that anymore. That cost him $116 million for what was supposed to be your franchise savior that you just threw away for an aging Anthony Davis. And now that coveted 2029 for Lakers first round pick isn't even going to be good because they're going to have Luka Doncic. That's only 4 years away. By the way, Luka Doncic bought a $15 million house in Dallas a week ago. And they traded him right after. He cried when the Mavericks traded him. He wanted to stay in Dallas. He didn't request a trade that we know of. I'm guessing he didn't if he was crying. He didn't know about this. Nobody knew except for the 2 GMs. The craziest thing about this is that the Mavs GM started the conversation. And Rob Pelinka thought he was joking. How are you this stupid? If I'm Rob Pelinka and I hear, yo, I'll trade you. How about we do a trade Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis? And he's serious. You can't jump on that. You can't be like, oh my God, yes. You have to act nonchalant. Okay, I guess I can give you Luka Doncic. And that's what he did. The Lakers GM was able to convince the Mavs GM that this was a risk for the Lakers GM. For the Lakers to trade for Luka Doncic, only giving up Anthony Davis in the first. And Max Christie too, but still. He was acting nonchalant and being like, I guess, but we can't give up too much for Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is the type of player that you trade your whole roster and all of your picks around to get a 50% chance of getting him. You get him, and then you worry about building around him later after you have the superstar. And then Nico buried himself more in the dirt during the press conference, showing that he didn't even let Jason Kidd know. Jason Kidd didn't know. He looked visibly upset in the press conference. And Nico was like, well, I didn't tell him, but I know Jason Kidd, and he's going to be on board with this. So, I knew he was going to be on board the whole time. And you could tell he, looked over when he said we. It's crazy. This is a win-now move for the Mavericks. I guess makes their roster more balanced, but doesn't make them better necessarily. They have too many good depth pieces right now. Their consolidation trade is probably their best move, trading away some of their depth pieces for a decent guy. Maybe Jimmy Butler, but it sounds like Jimmy Butler's going to Phoenix. I wouldn't even want Jimmy Butler. From the Lakers side, you now have a blueprint and a plan after LeBron leaves. Again, the rich get richer. This is Luka's LA team, which the Lakers' future before this trade looked very, very bleak, and now looks the exact opposite. And all it cost was Davis in the first, and Max Christie, who's a decent player, but trades happen at 2:59 like a minute before the exact deadline for a reason, because you need to squeeze every little bit of leverage you can out of that deal. The only reason they would happen days before is because you need time to get another deal done. Like you need a right, like you need time to make another deal. And the Lakers have two options. They can either ride this year out as it is and retool in the future, or just or kind of trade for something, but not really. Or they can go all in and trade for a center. Um, right now they have three heavy ball handlers in Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James. LeBron has been playing some off ball recently, but still, I think if they want to win now, you either package Gabe Vincent in your 2031 first to get an okay center like Robert Williams or something, or you package Austin Reeves and the 2031 first for a pretty good center like Nikola Vucevic or Nick Claxton or something like that. Austin Reeves no longer fits on this roster. And the Lakers have so much flexibility. Not flexibility, but so many options. They can. I'm still baffled that this whole thing has happened, and there is no words that anybody can use to describe them. But that's pretty much all I had to say. I know I'm late, but I just wanted to get some of my opinions out there. So.